Oh, I broke a fucking drive shaft again. No one wants a fucking front wheel drive. Yo, alright. So this thing's been breaking drive shafts. All the bearings are fine. Pulled the diff apart, put some new fluid in it. That was fine. It's not happening on big jumps or landings or anything. It's just happening in the middle of nowhere. Here's the other annoying thing. When you need to replace one of those inner cups, you gotta get a kit with 2 drive shafts and all this hardware. Oh yeah, and while I'm at it, I'm gonna fix the missing piece here. If you lose one of your sway bar end links, they pop off pretty easily and they can get lost. Again, it's only available in a kit with both sway bars. So, I mean, it's not actually very expensive. I think this is 20 bucks for the drive shaft kit and maybe 15 bucks for this kit. But these little pieces, you know, if you just need this or just need a cup, should be like $1 or $2. Well, nothing's $1 or $2, but you know what I mean. Anyways, so because it's always been these cup, you can't just get that cup. So I had a bunch of these pieces that were in fine shape. And what you can actually do is modify this to use it as a cup. So it's pretty simple. First, just cut the bottom of it off. We get that. Now we got that. So we need to enlarge this hole and then drill a hole for the pin, and that's it. And then you can use it. So like this part. And first we'll just mark a hole. So just sort of in the middle of this rim. Line it up with that pin. And try to keep this nice and straight. Drill press would be great, but turn this like that. There we go. It's not quite the same, but it will work. Because there's some play in the drive shaft, it just means the drive shaft sits a little further out. Pull the old ball out, pop that in there, tuck that in there. And there you go. So you can see how this works on the back here. We'll just slide this in like that. This aligned on there. So let's see, that slides right on. That hole's a little too big, but it makes it easy. And it'll make its own threads. It's got some play compared to how they're supposed to be, but we'll see. So I'm going to test that out next time we get out there. Again, the hole that I drilled wasn't quite perfectly straight, but that's what a U-joint's for. Good way to reuse your little pieces. It's super easy. You just need those 2 drill bits. Boom, boom. You could do it a lot nicer, but super easy this way. A few more runs out of them. Anyways, has anyone else had this issue? I've looked this up. I've not seen anyone consistently talking about breaking drive shafts on this truck. It must be the 13-tooth pinion, right? Everything else is basically the same. This is a 3200 kV motor, so it's a little slower even than the 33. That's the stock. Yeah, running on 3S. Let's get those on and see if that works. All right, I got another thing I'm gonna try out. So I was looking at some things, looking around, whatever. One thing that happens on the rear here, the rear arms can go up actually higher. So even when the chassis bottoms out, these can still come up a little bit higher. The bump stop inside the shock, but that's it. When this comes up, that cup gets really close to the arm on the bottom. There's a rock in there, it spins around and gets jammed. Maybe that's breaking them. So I'm gonna add a little bit more of a bump stop, a little higher, a couple more spacers in here, so that these ones stop when the chassis bottoms out. Same as the front, because on the front, bottom the chassis out, it doesn't go up any further. And there's a little more space, and I haven't been breaking any of the fronts. It's only been the rears. I know there's metal drive shafts available for these. Team Associated makes a kit for it. Sort of a dog bone and then a CV on the other end. But all the reviews that I read, almost every single review says that they bend and break immediately. So not gonna even mess with those. So what I did is I added 2 more spacers, these little grommets on either side of the stock one. So now it'll stop it. Here's the 2. This is the one with the extra bump stop. This is the regular one. So that is quite a bit less travel. Here's the difference now with this, with these stops in there. Now it just barely can come up. So I'm going to do that to the other one, see if that helps.